Alright guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to change the air filter in a Yamaha R6 from 2007 to 2015, I believe this generation is. And we're going to be doing that today with just a 5mm Allen key, some type of Phillips head that is pretty fat, and a piece of 2x4 or just anything that works around this size that will help you prop your gas tank up. Alright, so the first step is going to be to take off these two bolts in the back of the seat with your 5mm Allen key. But now that we've got the seat off, we have access to this Phillips head screw, one right here and one right here on the other side. We're going to take those out and then we're going to slide this whole panel right here forward towards the handlebars and it'll come right off. You're going to want to watch out. There's this little washer with a spacer on here, and don't lose that. And a note, use a chonky Phillips head because it is quite a big Phillips head. Don't try using a small one or you'll strip it. You go ahead and slides right off forward like that. Now we've got 3 more 5mm Allen bolts to take out. We've got one right here on this side, on the side of the tank. One more up here right on the front. And another one right here on the other side. These are also going to have another little washer on it. Be careful that you don't lose those. But first I'm going to go ahead and loosen up my phone mount here so I can flip it out of the way so I can flip the tank up. Alright, now that all those bolts are out and my phone mount is out of the way, I should just be able to hinge up this entire gas tank and stick a block of wood underneath it.
Are you sure about that?
Alright, so I've got my block of wood under here propping up the gas tank. The rear hinge bolt is still in there. Now all we have to do is remove these Phillips head screws. Again, these are the thick Phillips head, so don't use a small one. You might strip them. Use the fattest Phillips head that you got. Alright, so there's going to be a total of 11 Phillips head. There's going to be one right here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 right here on the other side. After that, this top part of the air box should just flip right off. If you wanted more room to work, you could take off the tank and everything, but it's not really necessary. You don't need much space to work with. You're just popping the air filter in. Alright, now that we've got all those bolts out, we can go ahead and this top cover comes right off and exposes it. That is your air filter right here. Alright, so there are these two little hooks that pop up from the front and then it slides right out. Alright, so first I took out this air filter and I'm like, it doesn't look too bad. It looks red, right? This is obviously the clean side. Let's see how the dirty side looks. Yeah. So they say in the owner's manual to replace this at I think the 24,000 mile mark, the 20,000 mile mark. This is after 12,000 miles. And I don't live in the desert. It's not a super dusty or dirty area. But I'm glad I have the OEM filter because if the previous owner had put in a K&N air filter, who knows how much of this would have made it through. Alright, so there's going to be these 3 little tabs on the bottom here. We're going to try and just get that onto the bottom part of the air filter. So you see that it's locked in there. And then once it's in there, you can like slide it back and forth and see it's on there. Once it's on there, you're just gonna wanna force it closed and clamp it with these 2 clamps on the top. So I'm just gonna go ahead and repeat the process. It's in there, looks good. And the reason I'm going with OEM over K&N is just because I've seen some videos out there of people testing with like a vacuum chamber or something, and they have a vacuum chamber and like one of the filters that being like the only seal or something, and they're pulling through particles and stuff like that, and they have like this particle counter inside the chamber, and it actually shows you like the amount of like microscopic particles. I just dropped a bolt, who knows where that went. It actually shows you the amount of particles that each filter is letting through, like parts per million or whatever the hell, some scientific that's beyond my level. But I believe it. I mean, it shows you the numbers that performance air filters, they let more stuff in. I mean, and that's just kind of common sense when you think about it. If it's letting in more air, how is it doing that? It's letting in more of everything. It has, you know, bigger holes in between its filter levels. That's how it allows more air to come in, also lets more stuff in. And for track use and stuff like that, yeah, that's great. In a controlled environment, you're probably not putting too many miles on the bike. If you want every extra bit of power you can get, with a tune obviously, then go for it. But without a tune, just putting in your air filter, it's not gonna really change anything. So even if you want to get a tune, you want to put in a performance air filter, you know, more power to you. But personally, I like my engine to last longer. I do I do only street riding, honestly. So I prefer it to last for a long time and save the 1 or 2 extra horsepower I could gain with a more free-flowing one. And for putting these pieces back on, it's going to be just the opposite of the way you took them off. As you can see, these tabs, I just line them up and pull them back. Just like that. We'll get them back screwed in. Alright guys, she's all put back together, looking good. Just checking over any last little fitment things right here. Make sure everything's on good. Tank's all tight. Bolts are all torqued down. So let me know if this helped you in the comments below. And I will see you later.